Hi everyone, this is episode 4 of Passion Yarns, the podcast. My name is Debbie Forrester. I'm going to be sharing with you a little today about what's going on with Passion Yarns, some of the things that I've been working on, and where we are with the wedding. I titled this episode Trending Patterns because I wanted to share a little bit about some trending patterns that are on Ravelry, but also some things not only that I'm doing, but to help you understand a little bit about my obsession with lots of works in progress. So I want to start off with what's going on with Passion Yarns. So we've been working really steadily, getting ready for shows, and I kind of decided that because my variegated yarns are so very highly variegated, that people just may not be aware of or familiar with how those yarns are going to look once they're knitted up. So I have dyed some yarn and I have knit up some samples about how they would look to show you what they look like in the skein, and then as the knitted product. So I have two here that I wanted to share with you. The first one is called Love Me Do. This is, here we go, there's how it looks like when it's all knit up. I haven't had a chance to block this one, but this is a yarn that is made up of blues and pinks, orange, purple, and then black. And I kind of got some of these colorway inspirations from looking at galaxy sort of pictures on Pinterest. Mostly on Pinterest, but also just on the internet. So I think these look so pretty, and it doesn't really, the way that the skein looks doesn't really give you an idea about how it's going to be knit up. So here's the skein, here's the yarn in the skein. Again, this is called Love Me Do. And if you didn't know, my yarns are made up because our company name is Passion Yarns. They're kind of romantic names, most of them. So they're going to be either names that invoke romance or give you or love songs, or pictures or names of love songs. So this one, of course, is Love Me Do, Beatles, Love Me Do. So I really like that colorway, but I also really like the way that it knits up. I think the variegation in there is really great, and this would be so awesome in a shawl or some other project that requires portions of it to be variegated and the other portions to be solid. So you could pretty much pick any kind of color, solid color, to be a companion of this. So this is, again, Love Me Do. I think it's really, really pretty. The second one that I wanted to show you, actually I have three, and I'm going to go ahead and show you all three. Part of the reason that I'm doing this is that not only do I want people to see what the sample looks like, but I want to be able to give away little samples of this yarn to people that we meet at our shows. So this is what the little skein is. This is a 5-gram skein that we're going to be labeling, and we will be giving these away at our shows. So this is also Love Me Do. Those are all of the same colorways, and it's pretty interesting how the difference and how they look depending upon how they are made up. So that one is Love Me Do. The other that I wanted to show you is called Another Great Love Affair. So this is kind of a newer colorway. Sometimes when I'm dyeing, just interesting things happen, and one of the interesting things that happened is that sometimes if black has been made up and it has been sitting for a while, it doesn't end up being a true black. Black and reds are both very difficult colors to get true colors with, and so if I have a black that has been sitting for a while and I try to use it as black, it ends up looking a little bit brown. So my other colorway that is called A Great Love Affair is a red and black colorway. And now, of course, this happened when I was dyeing up this yarn and ended up with a brown black. So this is, I'm calling Another Great Love Affair. So this is red and black with some bare spots. That's the white. That's a kind of undyed yarn, although sometimes it can be tinged with either the black/brown or the red, and to look pink and or a tan color. So again, this is called A Great Love Affair. This is this sample I was able to get blocked, so that's what it looks like when it's blocked. And here is what it looks like when it's put up in the skein. So this is kind of you can see this, although it looks kind of black, it is really actually a more brown color. And then we've got lots of pinks and reds that are in there as well. So that is another great love affair. And then this is what it looks like in the little sample skeins that I'm making up, that we're going to be giving out at the various shows that we're going to be in this summer and fall, spring, summer, and fall. So that is then again another great love affair. Here's the fun ways of how those look. And the third one is I don't have a skein made up for this one. I dyed the yarn, but I didn't get a chance to get everything all skeined up and up here. So I wanted to just show you what this one looks like. This one is called I Long for Your Touch, and this is shades of pink, various pinks, magenta, lighter pink, with speckles of amethyst. So I think that is really pretty, and I'm a pink girl. If you take a look at my website, you're going to see everything is pretty much pink. Love in the pink. So this again is called I Long for Your Touch. And then this is what it looks like in the mini skein that we're making up for that to give away. So we'll be showing these at our shows this summer and spring, and just giving people a chance to take a look and see what those variegated colorways look like. My variegated colors are very variegated. It means that there's a whole lot of different colors in them. Many of them have up to 5 or 6 colors in them, so they have just very short repeats of the colors. But it makes these really beautiful colorways like this that are so interesting and provide you with so much variety. So I really love those. We have been getting ready for shows. I pretty much have been dyeing every Saturday. Not dyeing, but dyeing yarn every Saturday. There's our very first show this year is going to be in April in Greencastle, Indiana. Excuse me. This is called the Fiber Event at Greencastle. It's at Putnam County Fairgrounds in Greencastle, Indiana. This is their 28th show. So although it's new to me, it is not a new show. They have about, what did I count, about 82 vendors that are going to be selling at this show. And it's if you're in the area, if you're in Eastern Illinois or anywhere in Indiana, this is a great show to go to. They're going to have all kinds of classes, everything from spinning and knitting and weaving and tapestry. So they're offering a lot of different, kind of unusual, a little bit different classes than what you see in most of the fiber events that happen. This is a Friday-Saturday show, which is a little bit different. We usually have Saturday and Sunday shows. So this particular show is from Friday at Friday, April 17th. I didn't say when it was, April 17th and 18th. So Friday, April 17th from 10:30 to 5, and Saturday, April 18th from 9 to 4 at Putnam County Fairgrounds in Greencastle, Indiana. This should be a really great show. I'm looking forward to it. We have others that are coming up, and I'll let you know about those as they are pending. The next one after that is in May in St. Elmo Lake, Minnesota. And that was one we went to last year, which is a lot of fun. It's called Shepherd's Harvest. We really enjoyed that show, and we look forward to going again this year. This year we will have a much larger booth there, so we'll have a lot more of a variety of yarn offerings, and we'll be featuring our DK weight, which we've been working on getting dyed up and prepared for the shows. So because I wanted to name this episode Trending Patterns, I thought maybe I would give you a little bit of information about some trending patterns that are on right now on Ravelry. some that I found that I thought were really interesting. The really big ones right now happen to be shawls and sweaters. Shawls have been going around for a long time, and there are a lot of different shawls. In fact, I started one that I actually didn't bring up, but it's called, what is it called? Nightshade. Nightshade. There's a new way of doing yarn. So there are shawls. There are a lot of new shawl kind of patterns, and there's one that I found that's on the trending patterns on Ravelry was a shawl called Wingspan. I'll put a picture in here about what this looks like. This is the most unusual shaped shawl I think I have ever seen. It is very beautiful, and the opportunities or the variation in colors to make this shawl look pretty much however you want to is endless. It comes in 3 different sizes, so it comes from a shawlette, so a very small kind of neck shawl, all the way up to a very larger shawl or wrap. It uses fingering weight yarn, so depending upon which size you choose, it could be anywhere, you'll be using anywhere from 400 to 1200 yards of fingering weight yarn. The pattern itself costs $10 on Ravelry. Oh, I forgot. This is, again, the Wingspan by Kyle Vey. It is a very beautiful, very, very beautiful shawl. They have a knit-along going on right now in the Wingspan Cal group on Ravelry. Again, this is, I think you could do pretty much anything with this pattern. It looks like bird wings. And if you go on Ravelry and look at some of the projects that have been made up to this point, you will see the variations in not only the colors that they use and the sizes, but how they look. It's just a very beautiful, beautiful shawl, and it's so unusual. It's just not like something that you would normally see in the shawl arena. The second trending pattern that I found on Ravelry is called Silver White Winters by Mary Anarella. This is just a very beautiful pullover, women's size pullover pattern. It has this very interesting cable pattern that's in the body of the sweater, and it has drop sleeves. So if you're like me and you have trouble getting those sleeves to fit right here like they're supposed to, then having a drop sleeve is a way to work around doing that and to get a pattern that or sweater that looks like it fits. So it does, the sleeves aren't up too high on your shoulder, up too high on your shoulder, or down too far on your shoulders. So it looks like a sweater that's fit since it's a drop sleeve. This one has been knit in either a DK weight, or you can use a fingering and a lace weight held together. And this particular pattern was a fingering weight, and then she put a mohair lace weight with it. I sell the mohair lace weights in lots of different colors. It's a perfect selection for this kind of a sweater, depending upon the size. Let's see. It is sized bust measurements from 33.5 inches to 63 3/4 inches. So there's a really wide variety of sizes that are available on this sweater. It uses anywhere from 1,200 to 2,400 yards of the fiber. And again, if you're looking at putting a fingering weight and a mohair together, you want to double that up to make sure that you have enough, since they'll be held together. The pattern itself costs $7.99 on Ravelry, and right now there's a 30% off coupon code that is called Whiskers on Kittens. The old song, Whiskers on Kittens, and that coupon is good through that coupon code is good through February 26th, which is next Wednesday. So that's something that you can take a look at if you're looking at a pullover sweater. Even if you're not ready to knit it, to take advantage of that 30% off coupon is a really good idea. Next is another pullover sweater that is called Night Grooves, and it's by Isabella Kramer. This is made with fingering weight yarn. It has a color work yoke on it. It calls for 1,225 to 2,160 yards. Those are really odd numbers, but that's what it calls for. The pattern cost itself is $6.63 US, so it's made by someone outside of the United States. Isabella Kramer, of course, is outside the United States. It comes in finished bust size of 34.5 to 62 3/4 inches. So again, a wide variety of sizes that can work for just about anybody. And this sweater is knit up with an intended 2.5 inch positive ease. So it's a nice comfortable sweater that's not real form fitting and would be good for a lot of different people. So again, that pattern is called Night Groove by Isabella Kramer. The next two are shawl patterns. So again, like I said, shawls and sweaters were pretty much what was going on. But this one is called Clinquat. I hope so. Clinquant. Clinquat by Lisa Much. If you know Lisa Much, she does a lot of really beautiful patterns, and this one is no exception. This is a very big shawl. It measures 80 inches at the wingspan and 20 inches in depth, so it's a really nice shawl. Right now it is a free download, and that download is good through today, February 23rd. So if you're not seeing this in time, I'm sorry, but you may have to pay for it if this is something that you like. This is a DK weight pattern, and it calls for 690 yards and is knit on a size 9 needle, and because gauge isn't really that important when you're looking at a shawl. Any size needle will work for you as long as it goes along with the yarn that you're using. It says that it starts out as a semicircle, and it has drop stitches and a pointed edging. So this is again the pattern Clinquant by Lisa Much. And then the last one is again another shawl, and this one is called Daylight Breaking, and it's designed by Destiny Meyer. I've not heard of her before, but this is a really beautiful shawl. This is an asymmetrical shawl pattern. It is free. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It uses 605 yards of fingering weight yarn and is knit on size 6 needles. She uses 2 different yarns together with this pattern. You'll see that it's a little stripy. She uses a solid and a speckled, 290 yards of one and 315 yards of the other. So you can use any kind of complementary yarns that would work. Maybe you've got something in your stash or some special yarn that you'd like to get to make this really beautiful asymmetrical pattern that is called Daylight Breaking by Destiny Meyer. So those are our patterns for the day to go along with our pattern thing. I saw on our pattern theme, I saw on Facebook the other day a post that says, "I can't stop collecting patterns. I'll never be able to knit all of the patterns that I have in 257 years. I know how that person feels. I have notebooks and notebooks and notebooks of printed patterns that I found on the internet, and some are duplicate. I tried to go through them. I stopped wasting my time. But you love to have the option of lots of different ideas, and Ravelry is such a great resource for finding patterns that are not only trending but will follow with what you want. There's search options on their website, on their pattern website, to be able to find not only patterns but designers, and to get them in the sizes using the yarn and the needles, and there's so many different subcategories to be able to look through on Ravelry to find the pattern that works out best for you. So that it's just a great resource. So if you're not already on Ravelry, you really should join. It's a really great website. There's a lot of really awesome things that are on there, and I mean, I've been a member of Ravelry for many, many years. I'm in several different groups. I advertise on Ravelry, so it's a really great resource for those of us who knit and crochet. And so you should, if you're not already on there, you should get on there. Okay, so we'll move to works in progress, and I do have to begin this by saying, yes, I started another pattern this week. I'm sorry, I did. I don't know what to tell you. It's a problem, but we'll get to that in just a second. Last time I did not show you where I was with my temperature blanket. So here we are now. We've got all of January and parts of February, and I didn't get in yesterday's or today's stripes, but those will be forthcoming. So the darker blue color is the color that follows the temperature range of 32 to 43 degrees. So as you can see, we've had an unbelievably warm winter. Not that I'm complaining, it's just I happen to believe that it's, we're going to pay for it at some point. But this is the temperature blanket. So this is crocheted in single crochet, one row per day, that represents the high temperature for the day, based on whatever scale you decide for your pattern. So for me, these are pretty much my winter colors. I will hopefully be getting into some spring before very long. Once the new year, so once you get into this time of the year when it's spring is looking like it might be coming around the corner, when the sun comes up earlier and it sets a little bit later than it has, so far for the winter, you're really excited about the possibility of spring coming in no time. It will, who knows. Okay, so more works in progress. Oh, I forgot to bring my socks up. Okay, we'll have to show you those next week, because I'm almost done, but not quite. So this is a new sweater that I started. It's a pullover sweater. Nothing exciting. It's really just, ribbing and stockinette stitches. But this is from a pattern I saw when I was watching a Marley Bird YouTube video. It is called My First Sweater. Although this is not my first sweater, it is, though, a very simple sweater. It has really no shaping, which is good because I need no shaping since my shape is mostly round. And has a boat neck. It's very simple, knit up to the neck. Has drop sleeves, so it will be a really simple, nice sweater. I'm using the Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. I love this yarn. This yarn is so incredibly soft. This colorway is medium blue, and I really like this. This is a great color. So this is the pattern that I started. Unfortunately, I didn't bring out my socks. Darn. I'm so much farther along on those, although they're not complete. But next time, maybe I'll have a complete pair of socks, and I will have an actual finished project. I do kind of have a finished, but let me go on with the others. The Mile a Minute Afghan, haven't touched it, so I'm not even going to bring it up here to show you. The scarf that I made for my husband's coworker. So if you watched last episode, you'll know that he says, do you have a scarf like hanging around here? And I said no, but I found some yarn and I made a scarf for his coworker. It was about 6 inches wide by maybe, I don't know, 54, 55 inches long. It's kind of made out of a sort of chenille type terry cloth sort of yarn that she really likes, and he says that she wears it all the time. So that's my finished object. I did finish one thing, but I forgot to take a picture of it. So you guys don't get to see it. You're just going to take my word for it. I'm not very trustworthy when it comes to finished objects. I realize that. But I did finish it. I have not been doing any more spinning. I really wanted to, but I pretty much have been dyeing yarn and trying to stay on track with getting my inventory up so that I'm ready for the different shows, and then working on the wedding. So that's where we are. So let me take a drink here real quick. I have always felt that knitting was such a solitary activity. There not really been, because I've been knitting for a long time, so there's never really been anybody else who I knew who was a knitter. And so I have been trying for many, many years now to get a knitting group together, just to be able to hang out and knit and talk and get to know people, and just to share what I'm doing, see what everybody else is doing. And so I have been trying for many years to do that. I had gotten a small group together. There was about 4 of us many years ago. Apparently it turns out to be over 10 years ago. But one moved away, one lost interest, and then we kind of fell apart, and so nothing else happened. I started another one a few years ago. We started off with like 4 people. 2 people dropped out. 2 of us kind of were knitting, and then it fizzled. So So I was, I've been thinking about, wouldn't it be a nice thing to be able to get a group together again? Well, last week, somebody hacked into my Facebook and started sending out all of these messages to my friends. And one of my friends was a lady who was in the second knitting group that I had started. And she sent me a message and said, "Did you text me?" And I said, "No, somebody hacked me." And then we got to chatting, and before you know it, we're on the phone. And she's saying, "Well, you know what? She just moved here into the same area that I live in, and we're new, both of us new residents here." So she says, "Oh, I would really like for us to have a knitting group again." This is for Barb. Hi, Barb. So I thought, well, okay, this is a good idea. So I don't know how many of you know about it, but there is an app, a phone app called Nextdoor, which is divided up into neighborhoods, and you will join it based on where it is that you live. And you can tell people about what's going on. Ooh, there was a coyote, or recommendations for a landscaper or a plumber or things like that. There's all kinds of things that people talk about when they're on Nextdoor. So I put on Nextdoor a post calling for knitters and crocheters, and in the post I happen to put in that if you knit or crochet or would like to learn, then contact me and we'll see what we can do about getting a group together. Well, I had an overwhelming response. I was so excited. Before, it was like, if I get 2 or 3 people who are interested, it's an amazing thing. There are like 12 people who are interested in meeting together to knit and crochet. A few of them want to learn. Some would like to begin again and maybe would like to polish some of their skills. Others would like to learn to do new things. Others just want to sit with other people and do this craft together that is so very often just completely solitary. So I'm so excited about this group that we've started. We're having our first crafting night on Wednesday, the 26th. We're meeting in a room in our local library, and I'm just so excited about making some new friends, especially since I've really only been living here in this area for about 8 months, and I've been in the Chicago area for many years, but in this particular town, in this neighborhood, for just a few months. And so I don't really know anybody. When you don't have kids in school anymore, you don't really get to meet people. So this is an opportunity to make some friends and to meet some new people and to share this thing that we like so much. That's such an important part of all of our lives, whether it's knit or crochet or needlepoint or spinning or whatever it is. To be able to hang out together and do it together, I think, is an amazing thing. I can't wait to see where it goes. Like I said, some people are wanting to learn how to knit or crochet, and I absolutely can help with that. I was teaching knit and crochet classes at Joann's Fabrics for a little bit, so I think I have the skills to be able to do that, or at least to set people on the right path and maybe help with stitches, or if there's some maybe pattern reading or whatever that they're having a little bit of trouble with. I think between me and everybody else who'll be going there who are experienced, I think we'll be able to help folks out with that. So I'm so excited. I can't tell you, I'm so excited about this new group starting up. And even though I'm really, really busy, I do not have a problem at all with setting aside 2 or 3 hours a week or every 2 weeks to be able to meet with folks and to be able to share this stuff. So I'm really excited, and I'll give you an update on the wonderful people that I know I'll be meeting as we gather together in our new knitting group in our area. So, I probably talked really fast during that because I'm so excited. So, okay, so here we go. Wedding. Now, we are officially at 173 days away from the wedding. We went to meet this week with the wedding coordinator at our venue. This is such an amazing place. I can't even begin to tell you. It is, if you're in the Chicago area and you'd like to get, and you have your heart set on a barn wedding, which is what my daughter wanted, this is a great place to do it. It is Hoosier Grove Barn, and they are part of the Streamwood Park District. It is a beautiful building. It's small, so it's not meant for really big weddings, but they also have a lovely courtyard, a garden. There is a historic schoolhouse that's there that is just fabulous, and it's going to be just such a wonderful thing. They are so immensely accommodating and so helpful and so encouraging, because there are times when I just feel like really overwhelmed with this whole thing. They give us a questionnaire, which is meant to kind of help with schedule things and to tie down some details and to decide how things are going to go as part of the day and as we build up to the day, which has been so very helpful. So we went over that with Vicki, our wedding coordinator, at the barn this week, and we were able to nail down a few things, you know, just things like linen covers and table locations and schedule and all of that stuff. It's very, very helpful. And they are just so wonderful. So again, this is Hoosier Grove Barn, part of the Streamwood Park District. They have been recognized by the Knot, if you're familiar with those, the Knot, which is a wedding planning website. They've been recognized as a really great wedding place, which they are. They're amazing. They're just so helpful with everything. And I really feel like they're reasonable. We're having both the wedding ceremony and the reception at that location. And I don't feel like I'm paying more than what the value is of what it is that we're getting. The kind of assistance that we're getting, the quality of the location and the accommodations, everything is just going to be so great. So I really feel like we are paying what is more than fair for this venue. So we really are, so as we get closer, 173 days, that doesn't sound like it's very long at all. As we get closer to this, we know that there are so many things that still need to be done. I'm still making flowers for the arbor. We did a trip to Hobby Lobby and got a bunch of stuff that was on clearance from Valentine's Day. So we got a lot of love and heart kind of things from that. And so it's just really a matter of getting everything put together. There are bottles that need to be painted, but it's really too cold now to do that. So we're just going to get ready and start going into high gear with getting everything together for the wedding. So I'm really excited about that coming up. And even though it's a lot of work, it's really great for my daughter. And oh wait, I have to make her veil. And her dress is a very yellowish kind of ivory color. It's very, very yellow, very cream. And so I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to find any tulle that was going to be able to match that. Oh my gosh, I got tulle for her veil. That is a perfect match for her dress. So there are just so many things that are falling into place that are so great. So we're excited about the wedding coming, and we'll be sharing more as time goes by, and I can't wait until I can do a group of pictures on this channel for what happened in the wedding and how beautiful my daughter is going to be. So that's the wedding. I did wanted to make one little note because I happened to notice it in the last couple of videos, and that is my glasses. My glasses, which are lovely glasses. I really like them. I paid a lot of money for them, and I think they're very beautiful, but they're blue. The color on my eyes are blue. These glasses are, I got all the bells and whistles on it, and one of the bells, or whistles, depends on how you look at it, was a anti-computer glare thing on the lenses to keep you from being, from your eyes being harmed by from looking at the computer all the time. Well, my job is pretty much all computer work. So I thought, okay, well, I'll get that. And they're fine. They work just fine. I don't know if I was just upcharged for something that I didn't need or what, but anytime the light hits them, then my glasses turn blue. And everyone, I keep thinking I'm seeing flying objects because I'll be driving to work in the morning and headlights will make a blue stream across here. So thankfully it's blue so that I know that it's not, I'm not just seeing things. But so anyway, so I just wanted to bring that up. There we go, blue glasses. That's how you get them. They are specially tinted to help you not have your eyes harmed by looking at the computer all the time. So there we go. So I think that's all I have to share with you today. I really appreciate you coming back and checking me out, or sticking around and checking me out and seeing what it is that we have to offer, not only here at Passion Yarns, but all the craziness that's going on in my life. I hope you'll come back. If there's something that you want to hear about, or if you're interested in learning more about me or anything else, please comment below, and I'll be more than happy to share with you when I can. In the meantime, thank you so much for coming, and I hope you'll be back again. Have a great week. Thank you.